guys, welcome to episode 21 of Occultists Anonymous. I didn't even have
We're
to
legal.
guess. Oh yeah, we are legal. I mean, we've been legal if we were in, the European, states and stuff like that. But or at least legal to drink. I don't know. Anyways, hi, how you guys doing? Hope you had a
Happy Pride.
Yes,
Happy
indeed.
Pride.
Yeah, we are recording this. This is the first one in June, but you guys won't get to the second week of June, so sorry, but yeah. Hope you guys have had a good time off. We had a big fight and then a kind of chill. It was not. It was a bit of a slaughter. I have warned them routinely, and I mentioned it last week. That was probably a one-time thing. Don't get
We just won't fight any more werewolves. We're fine.
Yeah, ever again, we're fine. It was easy. Done.
Yeah, it was easy. Check mark. We're done. Yeah.
Madeline might have a different point of view on that whole experience.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Oh, he's not here, is he?
Yeah. Which, yes, RAP Mammon. No. Mammon John is out doing some work stuff that came up, so he's not here all of a sudden. Which is a little bit of a bummer, because if you actually caught the end of the last episode, we had Mammon background, and then the episode ended. Damn it!
We're gonna know some things.
Yeah. So that's going to probably be bumped to next week because,
Again.
yeah, John was like, hey, let's do we'll just do something on Saturday and we'll just post it on Patreon. And all of them were like, no.
No.
So speaking of Patreon, thank you to Claire, Giovanni, Danny, Noba, Perry, Ryan, Samuel, Schmitty, and Thomas. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. That list continues to grow little by little, and that is so crazy. Also, we're at 300 subscribers on YouTube. What? So you guys know we're just like normal.
A bunch of jerks on the internet.
Right. That's like we're a bunch of nerds. We are not a bunch of nerdy voice actors playing D&D. It's just us.
Yeah, we play on Fridays.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, thank you guys for your support. And we're going to just keep playing the game now instead of being weird and awkward. So when we
do both.
Yeah, we can totally do both. But where we left off, the party had left the ghost party. The Cabal had left the ghost party. We had a little bit of previously we had Weird chatting with Alicia, trying to figure out what is it that a storyteller does for werewolves, and Alicia unfortunately was like, I keep
disappointed.
I keep story. Yeah, she's like, you need a different tribe, a different pack of werewolves for that kind of thing. Songbird also straight up walked into the Adamantine Arrow and said, "Yo, I deserve a promotion."
Time.
And he was like, I will take it under advisement. You need to go talk to your more... Well, actually, it wasn't even your direct supervisors, just so much as you need to find a way to support the Adamantine Arrow if you're not still doing direct Adamantine Arrow work. And Songbird was like, go make things? Songbird can do this. Was that Yoda? Or
I don't know why. I was going to say, why is Songbird Yoda all of a sudden?
I don't know. I'm still floored by the fact that...
UFC, I will fight.
Right. So that's where we're kind of picking up. I had some plans. They were way late, so we'll have to pick up on that next week. So what are you guys up to? Because it is now, I'm going to say, late March. Air is still cold. Still chilly out. Long nights, short days. What do you guys? What has the Cabal been up to? What are you guys doing?
Well, first on my list was going to be mainlining some mana.
Yeah.
Yes. We can easily say that over the past couple days, if you guys are resting and just like trying to lie low and stuff like that, you can definitely have scoured each day to get your 1 mana. Actually, let us see here. Miss Weird, I think, can scour second time now.
I didn't make aspirations. Oops.
I did mine, but they didn't save.
Well, fortunately, we have a moment to fix that up. Effects of Gnosis. Where is scouring? Scouring your pattern.
I tried to type artifacts, but instead I wrote artifacts.
Nope.
Why
not
did
quite.
it? It made a link for reasons.
Don't know. Nope. Gnosis 5, you can scour twice. So, sorry, weird, you're still just getting 1 mana a day.
But I also have the Hallow.
You know where a Hallow is, correct? Do you go visit said Hallow?
That yeah, and maybe if Atratus is down, she can come with me because you've been there before. What's your mana like?
Mine's decent actually.
Okay.
Well, I've used 4, so just scouring will fix me.
All right, so I'll just go myself, I guess, and just spend. I guess it's going to be a few days there. I'm down 10.
A couple trips.
Oh my
rather.
god.
Yeah.
All right. So let me pull up my
If
notes.
only there was a prime mage you knew.
Can move some mana around for you, indeed.
Can you fix the task now?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah, I've been able to
can.
do that for a little while now.
Yep.
Ever since I got Prime 3.
Prime 3, he can now channel mana.
You can also use it to suck mana out of somebody.
That's a little harder to do.
It's also definitely an act of hubris. It specifically talks about it in the book.
Yeah. If you forcibly take it, yeah.
Yeah.
But devouring the slain isn't?
Because
They're already dead.
Well,
no, they're not. They have to be
wounded.
hurt.
Oh, right.
Mhm.
It doesn't work if they're actually dead. It's a bad name for a spell.
Yeah. So weird. You go by the Hallow on at the Elizabeth Street Garden, and just kind of what day are you going?
So the fight happened on the 21st, I think. So like the next day.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
I'm not comfortable being that drained on mana for
Sure.
very long.
I totally understand. So you were there 21st. Okay, so yeah, you arrive on the 22nd. Early morning, I imagine.
Mhm.
Get up, go visit the Hallow. You find the Hallow, it is there, and do that whole I'm just gonna get a cup of this water here, and there's nothing there. You get some water. It's like that's little stagnant, not sparkling fresh.
All right, and there's no mana in the Hallow itself that I could draw upon?
get one.
You would have to do
Because
an
the water was-
oblation. You would have to do
so
an oblation to do that.
For sure, I'll do that.
Okay, so that is a... Oh, is it Gnosis plus something? Let's see here. Where is that section? On mana, gaining mana. Scouring, perform a Gnosis plus composure roll and 1 hour's time. Let's try that without the 4 dice from stealth.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see that was clicked. Sorry.
It's all good. I was like, that's a lot of die. Hey, you kept your 2 successes. You gain 1 mana.
Okay, and that's it? Ooh.
That's it.
This Hallow's tapped. Okay.
I mean, we cleaned it out, so.
You had cleaned it out on the 18th, and then today, you combined, there's only 1 mana. Do you happen to remember the dot rating of the Hallow?
I thought it was 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to have to come back tomorrow then. And the next day, for the next 10 days or 9 days.
You could also go to another Hallow.
True.
The Hallow.
We have a map.
Yep. By the way, what stat has everybody scoured? Or been scouring, I guess?
I drop
Strength, I imagine,
Dex.
right?
Yeah, my strength is supposed to be 2, I believe. I think I've just had it at 1 forever because I forgot to put it back.
Whoops. Yes, good. I'm pretty sure you had
It was supposed to be 2, yeah.
So, presents for me.
presents. Okay. Can you scour a social stat?
Oh, it has
Also,
to
have to
be
be
power.
physical.
Yeah.
Physical attribute.
Oh,
Okay, never mind. So strength.
Yep. I was going to say, wait a second. I was like,
It's been how many days? Like a couple days?
At this point, well, and that's what I was trying to figure out when Weird was going to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, you catch that first day that somebody else had been there. The next day that you go in the morning, there's no mana. Won't even have you roll. There's no mana. This is not your Hallow.
No, I know that.
Right.
Okay. All right. I guess I'm just scouring.
Okay. You're just good with somebody else using that Hallow and you don't know who?
Well, it's a guardian.
Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's a guardian. So
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but that said, I'm imagining because we had the ghost party. The next Monday is when Mammon sends his text, so we're kind of picking up that Monday. We'll figure out.
So it's been like a week.
Yeah. The Mammon is kind of reported in, letting you guys know that he is currently. I don't know what term he would use, but he's out window shopping. You saw him. Well, actually, you probably didn't see him leave because he was at his own place. But he had the map of Hallows and said he's going to go search for property.
Cool.
Nice.
I pinged John. I was like, okay, real quick, if you're going to bail, what are you doing? He's like, property searching. Cool. So he's
right. Weren't we going to contact the Mysterium, basically say, hey, you have some that you're not using anymore per your map? Can we take one?
You guys had mentioned that. Yes, if that is something you want to do, we can totally do that.
Yeah, I think that was what I was thinking, just because we know that they're there.
Mm-hmm.
We know that the Mysterium doesn't use them anymore for whatever reason.
Right.
We can investigate why.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Do you so what order does Atratus and possibly Mammon do this? Do you go check in and be like, hey, can we find one of these and claim it? Or do you go check them out and then go, hey, we found this one. Are we cool to just like make this ours?
I think I would ask them if we could do it first, just in general, if they're cool with that.
Yeah. So yeah, you have a little chit chat with not Oceans, because this would not be her thing. She's in charge of the Athenaeum, not keeping track of stuff. So let me see here. Organizations, Mysterium, members. All right. Yeah. So you go meet up with Ate. Ate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I can't read this. Yeah. Okay.
It's Tagalog.
And so you guys meet up. Well, you guys, I imagine Atratus, knowing her, goes to chat up with her. And yeah, she is very much the one who kind of checks in on a lot of the Mysterium. Kind of checks in, does the mother hen kind of thing. And yeah, basically when you come in and meet up with, is it Maya?
She's a receptionist.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, and she, you ask that question of like, hey, who should I be chatting with? Yep, Maya sends you down to Ate, and you're like, perfect, I know who that is. John is like, Mammon is like, perfect, I'm gonna just, bebop out.
Just chill.
There we go. There we go. Now everybody's accounted for. But yeah, so Ate is there, happy to see you, kind of, and I'm trying to see here. I have a age and gender and a image. But Travis, what does Ate look like?
She's middle-aged Filipino woman. Kind of just looks like a mom. She leads into her role as big sister. She's here too. She takes in the especially the younger folks. You get like a teenager who's just had a traumatic awakening and doesn't know what's up. She'll sort of herd you in, get you settled, get you grounded.
Okay. Do you? Does
That
she
sounds
have-
really lovely. Just gotta say.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Yes, Ash has a tendency for writing these really nice characters that I'm totally not going to completely convert and do you think she has a particular persona? Like, her shadow name is Ate, but do you think she has a particular way of portraying herself as a mage, similar to Atreides' a ghost whisperer? She's an Occultist. Do you have any particular thoughts when you made her, or?
My whole idea for her was essentially that she wants to be the one that help the lost people.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So she kind of looks for the underdog kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and with
like,
the Canthus,
picked Atreides up from wandering the streets of New York as a crazy person. It's just like, here, come.
We'll get you a cup of hot tea. Okay.
Yeah, basically.
So and especially as an Acanthus, yep, that's super easy to do. Yep. So yeah, she sees you, and okay, absolutely, and trying to get into the role, but yeah. So what are you needing? What are you looking for, Atreides?
My Cabal mates and I had an idea for business venture. We would like to open a bar, a restaurant on a Hallow to basically serve as a meeting place for mages of all paths. And also, and also serve as a bit of a mana reserve for any folks that might need it. So, since we have a map of Hallows, and some of them are specifically listed as being not in use anymore by the Mysterium, we were wondering if we could have one.
She's like, okay, so this is a two-parter. The ones on your map, and she also points to like across the room to like this big map of New York, like kind of up on one of the library walls. She's like, the Hallows that are marked off is because we either had no more use for them, or they were too dangerous to keep using. So you are absolutely welcome. If you can reclaim one, you can, it's going to be yours to defend. I don't think anybody else is going to, fight you over, not within the Mysterium. I don't know if any of the other orders have laid claim to any of these, because these are the ones that we know of. As for the business venture, you're going to have to talk to the hierarch, because that's going to be a thing that's going to affect the entire concilium. I think is an absolutely terrific idea. At least the idea that it is a social place for everybody to meet. I think that's absolutely terrific. I don't know how the hierarch is going to feel about us setting something like that up, and I don't know how the arrows are going to feel about a obvious target kind of thing. But that's like I said, I think it's a great idea and it's worth investigating.
Okay. Do you know how we would go about asking the hierarch about this?
Well,
do we just write them a letter?
Right. Send them an email. Let's see here. You would actually need to go speak with, I think it was Hiza. I think that's.
He was a counselor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the Mastigos counselor. So she suggests, I would speak with Hiza, and let him know and see what he thinks, and he can take it to the hierarch. She kind of winces. She's like, there's a little bit of bureaucracy to it. Now she kind of shrugs and she says, at the same time, if you just go do it.
Easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
She does exactly that.
Okay.
So long as you are not breaking any of the Lex Magica and any of the bronze laws, and she's like, off the top of my head, this doesn't sound like a break. That, nobody can say there was a rule against it. just at that point, it's already done. So that is your decision on how you want to pass that.
I mean, the intention is for it to be, to the public, just a normal bar, but to
Right.
also probably be staffed by mages who have the ability to put mana in your drinks if you so desire.
I'm sure few Abrimos wouldn't mind dealing in favors that way. Yeah. Yeah. I like I said, it's a terrific idea, and if that's what you want to spend some time with, go for it.
Great.
And she kind of motions over towards the map, and she says, is there any specific places that you've been looking at?
I don't know what's actually on the map. We haven't
Right,
seen it.
and unfortunately, because I hadn't thought about that, I was like, oh yeah, I probably should mark those on the map. But more or less, there are, let us just say, and we may have to tag Chris in here, but there are Hallows all over New York. And specifically because they tend to show up in natural places, predominantly. The peaks of mountains, the lowest of valleys, stuff like that. But then they also find places where there's heavy resonance and emotion. And so, those are nodes and ley lines. But yeah, so the high points and stuff like that, places that are like particularly spectacular, that is where they show up naturally. So I don't know if there's any natural formations in New York. Now, there's obviously one listed, and there's actually two in Grand Central Park, but can't really build a bar on.
Yeah,
Central
it doesn't really
Park.
work.
But
I would imagine there's probably like maybe one that's relatively near Tompkins Square Park in the East Village. It's this kind of big open plaza, lots of trees and some really cool like ivy covered basketball courts and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, I see this here. Yeah, I zoomed out and it's the big green place. Yeah, sure.
Coincidentally, it's also where like 90% of the like awesome bars are is right around the East Village right there.
Gotcha.
So we'd fit in to the neighborhood for sure.
Cool. Yeah, so you got places like that. And then there's a couple others that are kind of out and about that are not naturally made. So at one point or another, a mage made them. Which mage and why, you don't necessarily know. But there are some places, that are probably rougher parts of town, or have probably been, where Hallows are, that have been abandoned at this point. And places where you had, some secret lair, and that, eventually gets abandoned or, taken over. That mage died or something like that. So they're kind of all over. Trying to think if there's a way for you to just like pick one.
Yeah, I was going to ask Cards, like, do you have any suggestions for ones that why they were lost?
She kind of looks over at the map, and not particularly like anything specific. Every single one has its own reasons. Though she does mention that there's a couple in kind of the down towards, I guess you could say downtown, towards the financial district that we know of, that we've never had a use for or had easy access to. She mentions that there is one at the New York County Supreme Court. Right. There is one, she, kind of chagrined. She's like, there is one potentially, I don't know if it's still there, that was at the top of the Empire's, not the Empire State Building, the World Trade Center.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if that one is still there. That's not easily accessible anymore.
Would it be in the sky? Like up in the air?
She's like, that is my assumption if it stayed, but I don't know how tied to a building it was as opposed to a location. She's like, I'm in Acanthus, not Nobrimos. go talk to your friend Songbird about, and then Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island both definitely have Hallows, but those are a little bit harder to
Can't quite get those probably.
but there's those, and so those are the ones that she kind of knows of that were like abandoned just because access became difficult.
Okay. All right, well, I will, I guess, head out. We know we need to go talk to Giza, or the Hierophant, find out if this is a thing that, or well, no, I'll take that back to the Cabal and ask you guys, just like, do you want to do this officially, or do you just want to do it?
I'll let you guess what Songbird's opinion on that is.
Yeah.
I'm not too necessarily big on, getting permission.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Here I
Like,
am,
I feel
the
like
opposite of that.
everyone else is probably going to be on board with just see how Manman's real estate hunt goes, see what the Hallows we can find look like, and decide if we just want to go for it.
Mm-hmm. Now,
I'm willing to fill out all the paperwork in triplicate.
Right. So out of character, the one thing I will mention, like, there's lots of Hallows that you guys could pick from. At the end of the day, unless you guys have spent XP, you can basically assume that it's always going to be something that you're going to have to be defending. Somebody's going to be messing with, i.e. the one that, Weird wanted to use, and like, there's 1 mana in here.
Because some
empty.
other people use it, yeah.
Right. Now that said, if you guys spend a lot of time and effort to be like, this is ours, it may be one of those that I'm like, okay, you guys have earned it at this point, XP aside. But yeah, basically wherever you pick, I'm not stressed. There's tons of Hallows, and all of them are going to have problems. So as far as I care, you guys could throw a dart at a map of Manhattan and be like, there's a Hallow there. I'm like, okay, cool. And I will come up with the problems you're going to have to deal with there. And I'm open to the Cabal just having some, open, like, okay, we want it there. Okay, cool. This is what you're going to have to deal with.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, so obviously it's going to be more about, Mammon finding the, you guys as a group deciding, this is where we're going to put the bar. Okay, yeah, there's a Hallow there. And you're going to have to deal with problems. So.
All right.
I'll dig it.
So, where do we go from there then?
So I think
the bar might need a pin in it, but yeah.
So I think like one morning, I wait for Atratus to wake up because she sleeps a lot later than I do.
I'm
And
banging my door at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, there's no like knocks on the door or anything. It's just like, hey, I might need your help.
Okay.
Help from a necromancer.
Yeah, doing what?
Reading books.
Oh, okay. That's
I can do this for you. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not so good at the book kind of stuff, but and then like basically I've been told that if I'm not directly helping the Adamantine Arrow, that I need to find some way to contribute. And I thought I would go and kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone by trying to find some sort of lost relic or weapon or artifact, something, grimoire even, and bringing it back to the Order. Now I know telling a Mysterium and member to this is, not the greatest idea, but I was wondering if you would come with me and help me do some research on some lost legends or something like that.
Sure.
And then my idea is to summon an entity of supernal truth and kind of lead us to the right way.
Sure, sounds good. We're gonna go tomb raiding.
Potentially,
Yeah.
depending on where it's at. So, to a quick question: where are you planning to do this research at? Because there's obviously going to be like the Adamantine Arrow is going to have some records and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be able to get a Mysterium member in there. Like,
Fair.
you know, that's Mages are very, very choosy about what stuff they share. Now that said,
Too bad they're not, team players like the Guardian.
Oh, please.
Right.
Let's talk about them vaults.
Or even the Mysterium. I mean, the Mysterium let us all into the Athenaeum.
Well, they didn't let you into that.
sort of.
There were reasons for that.
Yeah, like you guys were escorted to an office to put down a bleeding,
nearly dead guy.
Right. And then quickly shoot out. But yeah, the reason I'm bringing it up is Atreides can definitely go check the Mysterium library, for that kind of stuff. Our
library is mostly creatures, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and there's definitely still other stuff, but yeah, the oceans under mountains has definitely got to focus on basically creating a badass bestiary.
Mm-hmm. Well, my first thought was I need to talk to Pip and Colossus anyways.
Okay.
And they can point me towards what resources might make sense to take a look at, or they might personally know of some. Like, if Colossus doesn't know a fucking tale about a lost weapon or some sort.
Right. Why does he have that name? Why is he a Forge Master? Right. What is he doing? Okay, cool. But
also, if I want to look at the Forge Masters, will they not let me in?
Well, he is a Forge Master, but like you could go chat with Colossus like at another time, arrange a meeting or something like that.
Just not at their armory?
Probably not. I think they're probably a little bit, restrictive about who has access. So you have to bear in mind that the Seers of the Throne are a thing, and they send spies, and sometimes that's Seers disguised as a member of the local concilium, or maybe somebody who is a literal like sleeper agent, double agent type of thing. So there's definitely some paranoia that goes into this. So but yeah, we can start either place. We can have Songbirds. Actually, yeah, let's start there because I have some ideas there.
Cool.
So you head over to the Adamantine Arrow, I think is what somebody suggested. Yeah.
Atelier.
And
it's French.
Well, of course it is. Loup-garou. Spelling. Sorry, you guys had to be in Discord. Colossus is. Oh, actually, before we do that, quick question: has Songbird been going by the gym frequently?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Cool. So yeah, post gym or one of your days off. Okay. You go head over, and Colossus is there, wailing away. That plate that he had been working on before is now part of a long gauntlet. He sees you, arrive, and like you watch for the first time as he sets his work down and looks over at you. Songbird. He acknowledged your presence for a second. And
then an arcane beat.
Yeah, right. No. That said, him saying that, and he's got that big basso, voice that kind of, matches a forge. But Pip kind of looks up and goes, "Oh, Songbird," and she actually comes over and walks over and what are we here for today? Are you working? Are you
couple
borrowing
things.
some stuff? By the way, the Silver Knuckles, like you can hang on to them for the time being, but they are ours. So
Yeah, no worries. There you go.
I
think I'm good.
Right.
I didn't even get to use them.
Oh.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Pats your shoulder, like leads the way over. You can tell me about it later. What are you here for today?
A couple things. One, I talked to Red Dread the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if he passed word on to y'all. But,
I haven't heard from him.
Okay. He explicitly told me to talk to the two of you, and find ways to make myself useful to the order while still sort of going about this kind of entry level, learn to be a banner warden sort of position that I'm in right now.
Okay. Do you have some thoughts on what you want to do here?
I do actually. I've expressed my interest and shown at least a modicum of sort of progression along a path towards what Colossus does here.
Mm-hmm.
But I also thought that I could be of use tracking down certain things. If there's any, it sounds, I'm still wrapping my head around this whole being a mage thing and magic being real. Let's be honest. It's only been a few months, but if there's any like lost artifacts or magic fucking swords that we could track down or something like that, something inside me.
I think you're gonna bring your cabal into this. That actually, you do have those two mystagogues, the Guardian. Okay. Okay. She reaches up and grabs your arms, looks in your face, and goes, "Songbird, I'm going to give you a quest." And she kind of motions over, and she's got all the walls and different stuff like that of different ranging from absolutely medieval to modern weaponry and armor and stuff like that. And she pulls open a drawer, and inside are books and tomes and like carefully shaped and marked stones, all sorts. And you're like, those are Grimm's. Yeah, I recognize this. I am an Ogrimos. This is my thing.
My mage sight triggers.
Right, yeah. And so she basically, and like everything is neat and tidy, and it's got like little sockets for every book, and then there's this big gaping hole where a big like it can't be a book, it's too wide, so but it's something. And she points and she's like, yeah, we're kind of missing one. It was borrowed and never returned, and said mage who borrowed it never returned. I'm not 100% where they might have gone. I'm not sure what happened to them. Finding people, locating people, not exactly my thing. But nor was I around. We have been missing this particular one for about 60 years. And my personal guess is somebody took it to go do something dumb and died in the attempt.
Seems reasonable.
Where it's gone since then, we're talking 6 decades here worth of travel.
Cool.
But yes, this is 1 second here. I gotta find it. Go Conca.
So do you have like a name?
Yes. Yeah.
Of who borrowed it, or
what it is,
or what it is?
Yes. No, it is a stone. Sorry, 1 sec. I got a couple of these things laid out. Not the stone. It is a big tablet. But Well, I'm just gonna drop this here. That way. Let's see here. We'll put it in chat. Roll20 chat. So, Thrason's Codex of Cerebromancy.
sounds fancy.
Yep. She's like, I'm not 100% sure what it did. Other than, it was obviously a grimoire that had some things to deal with one's mind, I suspect, and thinking. But all these in here are more than just a grim that has some rotes in it.
Sure.
I'm not 100% what it did, other than it was useful for doing things to the minds of your opponent. and so that it had rotes for that, and then when using it, it really amped stuff up. Very, very useful for things that don't take, physical damage well, or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Research it, figure out what it was. As for who took it, we have some like carbon.
The library card.
What's
they signed it out.
The carbon copy, type thing. And the last we know of it, it was borrowed by a Mastigos. Dear Conka, please move at a decent speed. Named Mashta.
Spelling?
Mashta.
All right.
And so I am not like there's no mention of why or how, but there you go. Okay, let me for those at home. Hang on. Was that an A or an O?
I wrote an A.
Yeah, there we
You said
A. I'm looking at my own notes and I was like, I didn't type the same name in the same place. But so that is who last had it. Yeah, you bring that back, I'd be happy.
Seems fair.
All right. Do you want me to try to see what I can find in the Mysterium about this thing? I don't know that it'll be very much, because again, that's not what our folks here do.
So that actually reminds me about one of the tricks that neither Memon or Atreides have dug into yet. But there is the merit for egregor, which for those of you at home, and as a reminder for those here, this is where you get into high-level Mysterium people have a hive mind connected to all the libraries. So I'm going to just jump to, where is this? Egregor 3, Mysterium Barathrum. That's just right out of the book, kids. Your character is initiated sufficiently as to be part of the knowledge base. She does not require physical access to any library held by her Cabal or Mysterium caucus, and once per chapter may gain the informed condition regarding the local Mysterium's membership, specialties, blah, blah, blah. The people in the local area. So basically, so long as the Mysterium caucus, which, let me see, I don't remember if I've actually decided how the Mysterium separates itself out. So basically the entire New York state is your local caucus. It's a little bit smaller because there's a whole lot here. Because there's some in New Jersey and stuff like that. Anyways, so if it's in a library somewhere within that Mysterium, some of the higher level Mysterium members can literally just search that library. Just anytime, anywhere. Does not have to, that's why.
So can I go ask them to do that, since I can't?
Yeah, you could, go chat with some folks and see. Yeah, that would probably be the way for Atreides to do such research. But coming back to Pip and Songbird, was there anything else that you were planning? She mentions, these names and stuff. Or anything you want to do with Colossus.
What's his gauntlet looking like?
The elven armor in Lord of the Rings, the very, very fine segments and stuff like that, and it's this full length, gauntlet. No idea if it's part of a full suit of armor or if it's just going to be a badass gauntlet.
I'll activate my mage sight. Is it glowing or?
So let's see here, because I know that,
is it a complete thing, or is it?
How would I? Let's see here. What exactly would you see? You can tell, or as presence of an awakened spell or attainment effect. Okay, so The most you could tell from it is that each of those plates seems, well, not each of them, but a number of the plates, the larger ones, seem to all be imbued somehow. But as a whole, it doesn't seem complete.
Can I scrutinize?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You walk over to where Colossus is working. He's got this, half-completed gauntlet set over to the side, and he's working on some smaller plates. Kind of watches you walk over, kind of gives you a once-over, like hands in your pockets, kind of like, I'm not messing with it, kind of thing. Or do you try and handle it?
Do you mind if I take a look?
He's like, just don't bend anything out of place.
I wasn't even.
Yep. Yeah.
Sure.
Go for it. Activate that sweet.
Cool. I spend that willpower. I shove my hand up in that gauntlet as fast as I can.
Sure.
Nah. I think I just gently pick it up like,
right. Yep.
What is this?
You spend your point of willpower and blah, 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 blah. Cool. So roll that. Oh, and you're
5
using
dice.
Prime, I imagine?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Not a great start.
Okay.
A complete failure.
Yep. Okay, that's it. Yeah. I guess technically...
That can't be it.
No, it legitimately is. So you would have to roll...
Okay. Because I can't get more than one level at once.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it was 2.
Yep.
Got it. I was like trying to do the math in my head.
Yeah.
Like, oh, cool. So what? And then reveal.
Revelation, which is effectively one more of the same roll. Sweet. And it's just a 4. So yes. You reveal, and basically all these plates, there's spells that you're not familiar with, but you recognize that the Matter Arcanum is heavily used in this, which you're like, yeah, okay, no duh. And it looks like several of the larger, like, defensive plates have been, let's see here, where's the deep information? What exactly do you get out of this?
Is it Aegis?
I think so. It's the one that increases the armor. Yep.
Makes things stronger, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Most of the larger plates have been imbued that way. Spell factors, including remaining duration.
Indefinite.
Yep.
Probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is a spell called Paradox? It did not produce cause the paradox. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Definitely caused paradox. Said paradox was contained. Is it a link to a thing that you've scrutinized before? Nope. If it would not awaken magic, nope, definitely awaken magic. Whether the mystery is related to the supernal realms or the abyss. Supernal, yeah. This is definitely, holy matter. And then related to right. Yeah. So basically you recognize the symbols for improving a material. Your matter is like, actually, do you have matter?
I don't.
Okay, yeah. So you at least recognize that it is matter and it's something to improve it, but exactly how to recognize the spell, you wouldn't. And you also recognize there is a specific signature nimbus. Ooh, actually, I think you get hit by said signature nimbus. Let me see.
What do you get?
I have 2 resolve. I have 2 resolve, 2 stamina.
Okay, thank you.
3 composure.
Let's see here. Long-term nimbus.
I never figured out what mine does.
Definitely.
No one's ever seen it.
Leave small wisps.
I would have seen it. We're casting spells when I had Death Sight up.
The signature comes from Revelation from a pattern. Nope. Okay, no, you would. They would have to imprint the signature nimbus for some mana, so or to be affected by the nimbus. Okay, but you do recognize the signature nimbus of somebody. You don't know who. You can take a wild guess.
Wait, didn't I? I've already seen his nimbus before.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the last time I came here, he like actively like finished a spell while I was there.
Oh, that's
Because we
true.
already talked about this.
Yeah, that's
so.
right. Yeah, but yeah, and yeah, it's the same signature nimbus. You know, it's this heavy like crafting and molding of matter and stuff like that. He is a Moro, so matter is his thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, this kind of, you know, Hephaestus volcanic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that is
I
what
dig
you
it.
pick up.
Cool. Yeah, neither of them have. Well, I guess. Yeah, Colossus, do you have any advice on, or have you spent much time with summoned supernal entities with cherubim?
He wouldn't get those. Or
yeah.
probably could.
Oh, right,
he
because
wouldn't.
they can't.
No,
right.
yeah, he
Sorry.
kind of leans. He's like,
I forgot. I was like, because he has prime, but not.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Right.
No cherubim. No, I tend to mess with. You know.
I would have known enough to not say that, though.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
To not sound like a total dumbass.
I mean, technically, you could ask if he'd been there, because, like, you know, Atreides had been around more, right? But yeah, no, you probably don't. That's fine.
I will still ask him about summoning. Just I won't sound like a total dumbass.
Definitely know what you're getting into, because I summoned one once. He says as he's smashing away. He said, and it wanted me to give up, you know, a physical thing I held most dear. I wasn't willing to do that, so sent them back, you know, and stood there kind of empty-handed for my 3 hours of ritual and effort and bunch of tasks down the drain. But yeah, do some research. So especially if you summon something more powerful, the small ones are usually easy to pass by, but the bigger ones ask for stuff. They want things. Otherwise, they literally can't help you.
Mm-hmm.
You thinking of summoning something?
Well, I figure who better to help point me towards a lost relic than someone who only speaks the truth.
Sure.
And might know something about, I don't know, rope in some space arcana, perhaps.
If you want
Truth
to find
of the location
something,
of an object, right?
Yep. If you want to find the location of a thing, space is definitely the way to go. Or at
Fair.
least connections to it.
Masticos isn't here.
So I gathered a little bit about the gauntlet. It's like super fortified. Yeah.
Yep.
What do you plan on having this be used against?
Trolls. Something big.
Trolls in the dungeon.
Trolls in the dungeon, sir. Yeah. And he kind of, at this point, kind of finishes enough with the one plate and kind of picks it up and kind of sets it down on, big old anvil. And he says, yeah, not 100% sure where I'm going with it, but piece of armor needs to protect at least a little bit. And then,
right.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's an itch, but, yeah, when I'm done with it, it's like I'm going to find it a place up on that wall. It's gonna be worth something. I don't know. Kind of looks at you, and kind of looks right at your hands. He's like, punching stuff, maybe.
Yes.
But I don't know, or and this is probably the first time you've noticed he's been working with tools and stuff like that frequently, and this is the first time where he actually pulls up a blacksmith's hammer that you've never noticed him using, and he kind of hefts it up, and every childhood memory of Acanthus comes up. He's like, holy shit, it's Mjolnir. It's got that really short handle,
right?
And he kind of picks it. It's like swinging something like this maybe, and kind of sets it down next to the as a pair maybe. I don't know. we'll see. And sits that down onto his waist, and goes back to sets it there. Pet project, at least until Red Dread gives me something else to work on.
Right. Fair enough. All right. I think that's probably all I've got at this scene.
Cool. All right. And so you bebop back to Buck Building.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Do you just text Atreides like, "Hey, this thing? I don't know if I spelled it right."
Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty much. Yeah.
All right. So we'll put that on hold here real quick. Weird. What have you been doing today?
I've been decorating.
Where?
Oh, right. You've been making our sanctum.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, the sanctum has to reflect the person who's putting it together. So, I've been decorating Songbird's apartment.
You
We
said
talked
it
a
was
little bit about
okay.
it.
Yeah.
As
You
a cabal
agreed.
sanctum, right?
As a shared sanctum for the Cabal.
Right.
It's just a bunch of pictures of birds.
Right,
on the windows.
birds.
Fairy lights.
Well, yeah, no, it's more like pictures of fairies and fate creatures and, Acanthus runes, fate time, that kind of stuff. So I've been decorating all morning.
Gotcha. And that's
All right, but I reserve the right to put a pentagram somewhere.
Sure.
yeah.
Pyramid collection fairy statues.
Rune. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But basically just stand in for the day?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'm going to spend the day building the sanctum.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. So yeah, I guess we'll pick up then with Atreides with a text message of something so and so's Codex of Cerebromancy spelling.
The
not
songs.
Sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
Who do you want to chat with, or how do you want to go about this?
I want to talk to Hiza.
Okay. Cool.
If he's there, he's our high-ranking Mastigos. I figure
Mhm.
asking him about a cerebromancy is probably a good idea.
Yeah. So Hiza is in his office, and like as you come towards the door, which is closed, he goes, "Yep, come on in."
Of course he does.
Yep.
All right. Just walk in then.
Yeah.
Um,
And compared to Oceans, which is, she had that small
closet.
Right. You walk in and you have that TARDIS moment where you go,
Space magic.
"Yep."
Cool.
Yeah, and easily like the size of Songbird's like sitting room, right? Big open, stuff like that. Yeah, and he's like, "Yeah. No paradox." And so yeah, and he is I guess we'll use the term lounging at his desk. He's kind of leaned back, feet are up. He's got a number of books stacked up on the desk. He's got one in his lap, and just he's got his finger on a word as he looks up and goes, Atreides, what can I do for you?
So
I'm going to interrupt you real quick. Is this going to be a long thing or a short thing?
Depends on if you can tell me what I'm looking for.
This is a long thing.
Yeah, maybe.
And, okay. And stands up and motions you over to a little pair of sitting chairs and a little tea set that looks dry as a bone. Very clearly there for decoration. Motions for you to sit, and sits himself. He says, "Okay, what are we looking for?"
I am searching for a lost artifact.
Grimoire.
Grimoire?
It is definitely a grimoire. Yeah.
A magic thing that the arrow's lost.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, are we showing them up, or are we doing them a favor?
We're doing them a favor.
Okay.
Personally, I really want to do some Indiana Jones bullshit.
Cool. And he goes,
I love that that's in character.
Right, yeah, I know. He goes, "Okay, the likelihood of that happening, but no, that's good. Go on."
Okay, so the thing we are looking for is called Thrasan's Codex of Cerebromancy. It got borrowed and never returned, and the person who borrowed it never returned.
Like, and you see, like, you know, like, blah, 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 Codex of Cerebromancy.
I thought you might like that.
He's like, okay, and, you know, okay, all right. And, okay, so we've got a name, and it was borrowed by mage?
The person who borrowed it was named Mashta. It was,
They were another Mastigos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he goes, okay. And a while ago, okay.
So lost like 60 years ago. It's a big stone.
Okay.
So I was wondering if you could look through our archives and tell me if we have any information on that.
I can do that. But I get to borrow it first before you give it to the arrows.
I mean,
they've been missing it for 60 years.
Like, they get it back.
That's fine.
But,
if you've made some promises, I'm not going to make you break those promises. But they've been missing it for 60 years. Me hanging it onto it for a week, it's not going to hurt them.
Okay, a week was what I had in mind, so that's
fine. As long as it's take it, look at it, study it, and then give it back.
Very likely copy it, but yes.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, yeah, all right. And he kind of sits back and closes his eyes, and I want you to roll for him.
Okay.
Because let's see here, I'm going to double check, but I believe the library gives a bonus to the roll. Choosing a mental skill covers that purview on any extended blah 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 for each dot. So they take the informed condition. You can do this once per. Yes. Okay.
So what am I rolling?
All right. You will be rolling his intelligence, right? Intelligence plus academics. Isn't that what we did originally?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
So 8 plus 2, so 10. And this is an extended test, so you're going to be sitting there.
Rolling his. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Mostly because if we're going to have dice rolls, let it be on you guys.
Just rolling 10 dice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can use the spell template thing.
Yeah.
Or just drop 10.
Or the spell roll.
That's so bad.
Oh boy. Okay. Well.
Okay.
And so you sit with Hiza for half an hour.
He learns
Keep rolling.
something, but not much.
Right.
Much better.
That'll do.
Well then. Hold, please.
Exceptional success on a fucking
Research roll.
Yep.
research roll.
Yeah. Which basically is just going to give him a condition. Speed progress up, whatever. None of that matters. And so, yeah, after
Gives him the informed for his next roll.
Right. But yeah, so he's just been sitting there kind of humming and just kind of mumbling stuff. Like all of it's been kind of under his breath. And then his eyes pop up and he goes, ah.
He is in his head reading books in other libraries.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of pops his eyes open and kind of looks over you and goes, so yeah, he's like, at first all I had was a mention of a Thrasans in our Rolodex of stuff. And he was part of a cabal. Called the Temple of Prosperous Future. And they seem to have phased out of our records about 60 years ago.
Because their future wasn't that prosperous.
Sure. And then then I found records of the Codex. The Codex is old. It's his Codex, but he didn't make it. And he pulls out like a piece of paper and kind of sketches very roughly. And you get this like, imagine like, the 10 Commandment tablets
like a
turned
big
on its
chiseled
side.
stone tablet.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just written across in just these really like, in stone, you imagine it's going to be really hard to get these like curves and stuff like that. But he just kind of, it scribbles, you know, he's like, it looks something like this. It's a big whopping thing. You know, and he's, you know, kind of, you know, it's a very like rudimentary sketch. And he's like, and it looks like that. It's been around for like 200 years. And he found it somewhere in like old Mesopotamia, like Babylon. So this thing is old. So I can definitely see why the Arrows really want this thing. I'm really excited that you're going to go find it for us.
Yes.
So yeah, the last I have is his name, and he went missing, you know, a while back. There's the temple, prosperous flame, prosperous future. My own notes are right there. And they phased out 60 years-ish ago, probably about the same time he missed. So the whole cabal may have gone off and done something, and they've gone missing. I'm not 100% sure. So potentially asking somebody else in the Concilium who's older and might know something more, but there's no more record of them, of the temple. But some of our older members, Red Dread, if you can bug him, the Hierarch. Let's see, who else is really old? Borsine and Camiel, I think, might also be old enough to remember them. They're definitely old enough to have been around, at least that they may have heard about them going missing. But I don't know anything about them. The name doesn't, ring a bell.
Mashta, you didn't find any record of that person.
Sorry, Mashta. Mashta is part of the temple. Yeah, sorry, thank you. Yes, Mashta is the member of the temple, and Mashta did not make the codex. Throssazons is the one who made it way back in Mesopotamian era. Sorry. So Mashta and the temple had the codex, ran off with it.
And then they apparently all went missing. Okay.
All went missing. And that is all I got, other than apparently tales and writings of mages standing before armies and making heads explode. I'm pretty sure that has got to be like either massive hyperbole or we need to find this thing.
Yeah, we're gonna find this.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
So, So, like I said, I want to borrow this for a week. Of
course.
And then, like, he kind of, more serious face. He's like, listen, if somebody has this, we need it, and tread carefully, because hopefully some dumb sleepers have this in a museum somewhere and we just haven't noticed. But
narrators know it.
Oh, no.
They won't.
They won't.
But if, be careful. Maybe the Guardians have it in their vault, because this is a dangerous thing. So
did they not tell us when they lock things up? But it's not theirs.
Well, yes.
Okay, come on.
It's not theirs to lock up.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Right. And he's like, yeah, no, they tell us about some things that they lock up, but when it, like, especially now, hopefully, like, if it was our Guardians within this Concilium who found it and recovered it, they may have told us 60 years ago. If they came across it now, they might not even realize it's ours. And if it's Guardians from, I don't know, Idaho,
they wouldn't tell us anything.
They wouldn't even know to contact us about it.
Okay.
So, and he kind of like is kind of gathering his wits, and he's like, okay, and he's like thinking through all he's come up with, and he's like, that's basically what I could scour from the Mysterium libraries around here.
Well,
I wish you luck.
Thank you. I guess I'll carry this back to my arrow friend.
Sure.
See if he can
And,
find any more pieces.
right. And he escorts you to the door, and how we go?
All
I'll
right.
talk to Red Dread about it, I
Yeah,
guess.
go. Ask him about some missing mages.
Okay. Very likely at this point, between the back and forth afternoon, we're going to say we're getting into, early evening.
Prime gun shooting time for Red Dread.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So Songbird, you head there. Weird. At the door to Songbird's apartment, there is a knock.
I checked through the people.
You see, like, I'm trying to, what would they look like? Yeah, basically like bike messenger, right? Helmets, kind of like, tucked under an arm. There's a big, like, bright yellow satchel, and just, kind of like knock, knock, knock.
I'm doing a quick spell.
Okay.
Where is that? Is it perfect timing? No. There's a spell that's going to tell me if it's going to be good or bad if I interact with someone. I can't remember the name of it though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
little portent
I read
thing.
that.
It's,
I mean, you probably just do that. Like, even if it's not like a direct spell, it's like creative thaumaturgy. That sounds easily within your range of fate.
mhm. Reading the outermost eddies.
There we go. So I'm going to do a quick spell.
Sure.
There we go. Just because I want to.
Oh, no. Wait, hang on. Yeah, no, that gives you a small blessing.
No, it's definitely a spell, because I read it when I had
I thought it was a time one.
time, yeah.
Oh, is it time?
Yeah, because I had a dot in that for our one shot. I remember that spell.
Momentary flux.
Cool. Beneficial or baneful. Yep. All right.
It doesn't tell you what it'll do, just if it's a good idea.
Mhm.
Yep. Good idea, bad idea. I like those simple choices.
Yeah,
Just need-
I love the description. Go ahead and set up your template. I'm just filling time. The mage can see whether the stranger crossing the street to approach her at night is as threatening as he appears, or whether or not he has come to offer advice, for example. Yep, no, that sounds about right.
So just instant cast for each. That's all I really need.
Okay, cool. And then our Gnosis and Arcana, and what yantras are you using?
Shadow Name plus Cabal, and looking through my crystal.
Okay, cool. So you're going to take 6 seconds, but yeah, that's fine.
So that should be 9.
Yep.
Good Lord.
I will.
You're going to get some mana, buddy, while you're
I
behind?
think I'm gonna take the mana.
Okay.
As much as I would love an arcane beat for my condition, I'll take the mana.
Sure. Done deal. So let's see here. Whether the subject will prove beneficial or baneful. Yeah, so in the most likely future, it comes up as baneful.
Okay, I'm not opening the door.
Okay, doke. There's a couple more knocks. Then oh, fuck this. Watch as the satchel opens and there's because people, you could probably see it. And there is a envelope under the door and, hits your feet. And like the envelope is half, like it's a large envelope. It's like half under the door. So it's clearly hit something. Say the guy, screw you too, buddy. And then walks away.
Okay.
My door's got gaps underneath it? I don't fucking think so.
Mail slot, I don't know. Yeah.
Mail slot, yeah.
No, the mail slot's probably mail downstairs.
All right. Just to be sure, I'm
Bear in
gonna
mind, this is this is kind of meta, but this is in consideration of Songbird having a 3-dot safe place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do a post-cognition.
Okay.
Just to see where this came from.
Sure.
Don't need any for that or that or that. Same for.
Who's it addressed to?
Oh, I'm not necessarily curious about that, but I want to see where it was coming from, the why this was a bad idea.
Sure.
Yeah. So another 9.
Well, now let me read the other part of the spell. The stranger may augur a bad omen for her. This could be due to his malicious intent, or maybe he's running from some danger, or even carrying a cold. So,
Yes.
yeah. So you're doing reach for instant and advanced duration, is that what you said? Or-
And sensory range. Oh,
You
I
can,
have
you
the
can
other
tap,
two.
you can touch it.
I don't want to touch it, actually.
Ah, okay. Okay, so, yeah, you don't have much duration there, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. So it would take. I'll overreach 2.
2.
1 for advanced duration, and 1 for the scrub.
Okay, so you have 4 paradox.
Oh shit! Right.
One
for
the
advanced
downside,
duration.
friends, to being
Yes.
extra.
You can do 3 yantras though,
Um.
so you could get your tool then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, which will deal with 2 of it. So we're going to roll 2 paradox?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that'll give me 7 for the dice pool.
That'd still be 9. Because before you did.
Right. Oh yeah, because I'm adding. Yeah. Okay.
Ow. Okay. Don't roll your
Oh,
spell just
sorry.
yet, because you got 2 paradox. So I need you to roll some wisdom.
All right.
I realize I've been hiding the paradox rolls, and I'm like, but I'm immediately going to tell you what the result was.
So I'm just rolling 7d10.
Mm-hmm. So 1 success.
Yep.
So you take 1 bashing damage,
Yeah, I'll eat
and
it.
I have to remember what that paradox does.
Well, I contained it, right?
Yes, but you didn't contain all the successes.
Oh.
I can't remember what this does. Ah, yes. If paradox successes remain, apply paradox condition to the caster.
Okay.
So, because you contained it, rather than letting paradox out, you instead took paradox into yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
It'll be fine.
Besides,
I'm
hurt you a
sure.
little bit.
Let's see here. Paradox.
But doesn't that the 1 bashing damage?
No, that's the success is you getting only a bashing damage.
Okay.
Paradox condition. Okay, so what is your wisdom?
7.
So you are understanding. So this condition is going to last for a chapter. So basically for the next kind of short arc that we've got.
Right.
Technically it's 1 chapter or a day, but a day is going to fly by. So, all right. So, man, we haven't done these. I've got to reread. So yes, if the paradox condition is allowed to lapse, the abyss enters the mage's pattern. While the abyss is part, and this is if you let the condition lapse. So you're going to have this condition, right? While the abyss is part of the mage's pattern, it appears in her nimbus. Every spell she casts is tainted by the abyss and gains a paradox die, even if she does not attempt to reach as part of the spell. This, by the way, this is the downside to paradox. Oh,
Yes.
I love this. Conditions that resolve this way grant a arcane beat. At this point, the only way for the mage to remove the taint from her pattern is to scour it out, similar to pattern scouring. Removing a paradox condition in this way deals a single point of lethal damage to the mage that is resistant, but you do not gain mana from the scouring. And let's see, based on what you have done, you're trying to think and lean. Yes, so we have, you have now an abyssal imago. So whenever you attempt to cast a spell, you must spend additional reach equal to the successes earned on the paradox roll that inflicted the condition. So 1. So you always have to overreach 1. If you do not, the spell automatically fails and adds dice equal to the spell casting dice total to the paradox roll.
Okay.
The way to resolve this, and therefore so it doesn't lapse, is the mage successfully casts a spell that does not risk paradox. The mage scours the condition from her pattern, or the mage allows the condition to lapse after the specified time. So if you want, you can just be like, screw this thing, I'm cutting it out tomorrow, because you've already scoured for the day.
I have, yeah, okay. All right.
But your spell does cast successfully, and you get 5 successes.
Right. And I think I'll take another mana for that.
Sure, okay.
That seems to be the safest option. And so the package, I want to flip back and see. I have advanced duration, so that should give me enough time to see where the package came from.
Because you have 2... Wait, hang on. I'm trying to remember it. That one is
the potency spell.
Potency spell. Okay, yeah. So you go back an hour, and all is dark inside the bike messenger's satchel as you kind of fast forward or rewind, back, and near about 45 minutes back. The envelope pops out, and you're looking around, and there is a well-dressed gentleman, and I mean like immaculately well-dressed, like Mammon looks bad kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy is like, very like custom suit stuff, and is basically actually there's some assistant who hands the package off to the bike messenger. Past that is this guy in a well-off suit, and is sealing the envelope and sliding it, or folds up a letter, slides it into an envelope.
Is there a nameplate on the desk?
No, actually, knowing who this is, no.
Okay. Okay, cool.
But yeah, the look around the room, very, very upscale office, very, very, very modern. Lots of stainless steel, lots of glass. It is a corner office, so you have a great view of downtown financial district New York, and then suddenly you're being shoved into an
Can you
envelope.
see what's on the letter before they fold it?
Yeah. Pause, rewind. I'm basically in the room.
Right.
As an invisible observer, right?
Right. Well, yeah, I guess the envelope exists. Because that is because you can't sense the letter. But yeah, the envelope is there. Yeah, okay. So yes, you see, let's see, I have to go pull
At this point, you're like reading Songbird's mail, but no.
Are we surprised? No. He did it with time. Oh, wait, no. He did it with time magic this time instead of fate. It's fine.
Yeah. Songbird. Yeah. Acanthus Cabaret Nielsen, you are invited to dine, and that's all you're basically able to see as it's kind of getting folded up and slipped into the envelope.
Okay. All right. That's all I need. I'll just make a note. How do I clear this thing again? I have to successfully cast a spell with no...
that does not risk paradox. So, basically, you have to get it so the paradox roll comes up with no successes. Or you can scour it from your pattern, which you can't do today, because you've scoured today, or in the past 24 hours. Or you allow it to lapse after the time has passed.
Okay.
Which then does bad things to you.
Which does bad things to me.
I just scour it tomorrow.
Well, once it's in your nimbus, then you scour it out anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Okay. Back to decorating. Definitely not going to be doing any summoning today.
Yeah. Actually, that's
or
very
tomorrow.
true. Because what's the penalty?
Isn't it like a month or some shit?
That was a week.
We shall see. The summoning. Add 1 success if has caused paradox, even if contained within the last week.
Week.
Yep. Okay. Now, what about the envelope? Do you just leave it where it's at?
I'm gonna leave it right where it is.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, you go back to decorating. Let's see, what time are we at? Oh, hey, that's perfect. You go back to decorating, and we go to a break. Yep. So thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye. Don't say it, I swear to God.
Stay lucky.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us with this latest episode, Sans Mammon. We have a mysterious envelope, which I think is a good way to leave this. I like trying to leave on cliffhangers. It's fun. What do you think is in the envelope? Let us know down in the comments and, that kind of thing. Of course, if you want to join our discussion and, let us know what you think and talk with the rest of the community, come join us on Discord. That's also in the thing. And if you want to check out some of Weird's journals that she's done kind of as a day-by-day in-character feel for what's been going on, those are on Patreon, as well as some other stuff that we're doing. The first journal from like the very first day that they met is up now for everybody. I think the second journal just went up, so it's going to be like a week before that's available for everybody. You can check that out at patreon.com/occultist anonymous. And hey, we'll see you guys next week.